Hey everybody, my name is Sarah. If you've never been to my channel before, I am a first year, almost second year, first grade teacher in Texas. So I have not made a video in a long time because my first year, my class and teaching just took priority, but the whole time I was missing YouTube. So I'm excited about today. I'm gonna go up to my classroom and just continue kind of cleaning up the room because I just need to start getting it ready for next year because we're doing distance learning right now, which is sad that I won't be able to see my students in my room anymore. But I'm gonna go ahead and get kind of a head start on organizing and figuring out what I want to change and everything for next year. I think that I'm gonna stop by the dollar store on the way though. Well, I guess I don't have to do that today. But for distance learning, we're sending home packets of work to our students, and I think it'd be really fun to give them like an authentic writing activity. And so I went ahead and double checked with my principal to make sure it's okay to receive mail at the school office from my students. I know it's usually okay, I just didn't know, you know, because of germs and everything, but she said it was okay. So I'm gonna write a letter to each one of my students and go ahead and send them a pre-addressed and pre-stamped envelope so that they can write me back. And I think that would be great writing practice, and they may not even realize that they're practicing. They're just getting to write me a letter, and it's exciting because I will have keepsakes from my first class and having letters from each of them. So I'm gonna do that because I don't have envelopes. I also don't have stamps. So yes, I'm excited about that. All right, I will get going. All right, I just got to my classroom and I wanted to show you guys when I turn the lights on. Maybe you can see this. We got new lights. So you flip it on and then you can use this to dim them. And they get so bright. I love it. So that is one thing that we got during the break so far. I don't think they did it spring break week. I think they did it like the next week or the week after, but it's so nice. It is so much brighter, but it's also nice to have the ability to dim them down. So that's really, really nice. And my fan didn't work all year and they got that fixed. So that's cool. And it's also on a little slider. So I went ahead and moved all of the furniture, well, almost all of it, off of the carpet so that they can shampoo. I'm gonna leave that there and the two desks, but I can probably move that table over here. And I'll probably leave this, but I might get stuff out from under it maybe. This actually belongs to the office. It's not mine. It's when the AC, no, not the AC, when the heat like went out because of a gas leak. We all had little heaters in our room, so that needs to go back to the office because it should have been returned long ago. But this has been an interesting year. We had bathroom construction, which was interesting, but just kind of like we had lots of bathroom lines, you know, and like bathroom schedules to try to not get in other classes' way. And then we had the gas leak, which made us not have any heat in our rooms. But it was okay. Like, I got the biggest heater in the building because this room is the coldest because I have two outside walls and there's an outside door nearby that they had to open a lot for construction, which was going on at the same time, and that was one of their entrances to the building. So it was funny, but with the heater it was fine. And I mean, I'm usually really cold-natured. And then now distance learning. So this has been a very interesting first year teaching, but it's been really fun. I don't know why I'm out of breath. I always do that. Like, I think I get excited that I'm filming another video. But yeah, I'm not really sure what all I'm gonna do here, but I'm just gonna kind of sit for a minute and think about things that I need to do, look around. I have a lot of school supplies left over. We just did really good. I feel like the kids did really good at keeping up with pencils. I made a really big deal out of not like losing your pencils, and I mean, I have so many pencils left and glue sticks. I have like a whole box I need to go through. I have put a few things that I found that the students actually wrote their name on I have put them in their book bins over there, just because I know at some point we're probably going to be able to bag up their stuff and have the parents come pick up the stuff that's left. So that's why I was going to try to find at least the school supplies that have names on them so that they can get back to their students that brought them. But I have them in those phonics boxes right here. There's some, and then there's another full box just like it underneath, and then I have all of these pencils right here. So, and I still have glue sticks here because I had a full tub left from last year. Personally, I think that we have too much stuff on the list that we send home. But I mean, every class is different, and the list has to be the same across the grade level, and it has to be able to, you know, have what all the other teachers need. So I'm just trying to make sure that if anything has a name on it, that it gets back to its owner, so maybe they can save some money for next year. So that's one thing I want to do. I do need to type up a letter to send in this week's packet, so I'll probably do that and print that out. And I'm not sure what else. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the school supplies, I guess, because that's the easiest. Look at this, guys. This box is full. I mean, I don't even know when I would find time to have them doing activities that would use this many glue sticks. Ever. And I mean, my next class is going to be bringing glue sticks. Like so many glue sticks. So, I don't know. It's crazy. Look at this. It's a big box. Whoa! Okay. So this has a name on it, so I'm gonna see if they want this bag. Okay, y'all, this is crazy. My students were never lacking for pencils. Like I said, I just made a big deal about don't lose your pencil, and we picked them up off the floor, and before we left the room, I always made people look around, and if they saw their pencil, to pick it up, and I think that really, really helped. I think we didn't use a lot of pencils, which is crazy for first grade. But let me show you this mountain. Look at this. All unopened pencils. It's crazy. Now, there are a few packs that do have names, so I'm going to make sure they get back to their rightful owners. Hopefully we can. I'm thinking there's supposed to be a day where they can come and pick up all of their stuff. But what I'm thinking about doing is giving every student a package, because I mean, they deserve to be able to take home what's left over. I just don't know who brought what, but I'm just going to try to make it as fair as possible and get these back to the students, because that will keep them from having to buy as much for next year. So I don't know if our list just has way too much stuff on it, or if we just managed our materials really well. I remember thinking, I don't want to run out of pencils, so I need to teach them how to be responsible. Well, they did a great job, because this is insane. So let me show you really quick the glue I have left. So I have 30, 60, and then all of these I think have 12. And then I have a whole container like this full of this Elmer's glue. Well, I guess call it like wet glue. I have like a full container in my cabinet, and then I have these left, and that is after I went ahead and gave every kid one. Except some of them had names on them. Some kids got more than one, but that's because some had their names on it. But everybody is taking home at least one. And I think for distance learning, I'm going to go ahead and open these, because I have 4 boxes of glue sticks like this left. So I think I'm going to send home another glue stick in their distance learning packets this week. We already sent home, you know, a glue stick in each packet at the beginning of this, but, you know, they could be running out, or they could have lost it. So I'm going to send at least one home in their packets this coming Monday, so that will make good use of some of them, because sometimes we put some things in their packets that involve gluing, and I would hate to do that if they don't, you know, have a glue stick. It's crazy. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't know what people typically do, or if people typically have this much left. So, oh, here's another one. So yeah, I wished I was counting, but I don't have enough for my whole class of these. I could probably like break them up and give them to them. Because I mean, on our list, we have each kid bringing 3 packs. But I think it's because we're supposed to donate some to the art teacher. But when I talked to the art teacher this year, she told me she had plenty and to not bring any until she needs some. So I think she might even be overrun with glue sticks. I mean, it's not a bad problem to have. I just feel kind of bad that, you know, they're buying all this. I'm going to try to give as much back as I can. Okay, so now I'm going to find a plastic bag and put all of these little erasers, dry erase board erasers, in it and take them home and wash them. I actually didn't wash these all year. I thought I would wash them a few times throughout the year, but I didn't. But they continued to work, but super dirty. And as you can see, I had a student who really liked to draw designs on them. But I'm going to wash them, and if they just still look gross, I might just buy some more. They're at the Dollar Tree. Also, I started erasing the other day when I was here, when I moved the furniture. I started erasing the words on my word wall, and you know, I thought I was unhappy with this word wall, but the more I think about it, I don't think it's as much the format and or type of word wall as much as lack of using it properly. Before the year started, I had some words already up there, some kindergarten words, but I really should have made a bigger deal out of it, and added words throughout the whole year, and then maybe taking off the kindergarten ones. So that was just something that, one of the things that I didn't seem to find time for or just do from the beginning, so I just never did it the whole year. I did see students using the word wall though, so that's encouraging. So that's a goal for next year, to really make it more of, you know, a part of our lessons and stuff whenever I put a word up there. There is not a lot of space. I could probably write them smaller and have kids still use it because we're pretty flexible in my room. I'm fine with kids getting up if they're getting up to look at the word wall. So I think that's one thing I could do to help, is I could actually write them smaller because, you know, they're never really going to have to be on the other side of the room looking. So that way I could probably do about 10 words or so under each letter if I write them smaller and make a list. So I think I'm going to try that this coming year and see if that's much better. Since we have the heat or the AC turned off during the summer, my paper's starting to crinkle up like it was last summer when I was so panicky thinking that they were going to look like that all year, but it tightens up whenever you turn the AC on. My mom was here one day with me, and she got this so organized. It is so random. Some of the stuff in there, like, doesn't really have a place because it's like the only one like it, you know, like this popsicle. But this is so much better than it was. So I need to look through that and see what all I have. All right, I have a whole stack of these 1.4 Wonders reading books. So I kept them in a locker this year until we got to 1.4. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go stick these back in a locker. That way they're just out of the way. All right, so I took 1.4 to the locker and I brought 1.1 into the classroom, so those will already be in here for the start of next year. So I love knowing kind of what's gonna take place now, so I know how to better prepare. Last year I was kind of like, I think this makes sense, but I'm not sure. So it's just cool, like, knowing what to expect and being able to have the brain space to come up with like more creative stuff instead of just like desperately hoping that I'm taking care of the necessities. Okay, so while I was out there, I remembered well, I didn't remember, I saw them, and it reminded me how many packs of notebook paper were in this classroom at the start of last year. And we didn't use them. I didn't think we would, but I wasn't sure, because I was like, well, they're in a first grade room, maybe they use them. Well, we don't use notebook paper, so I have a whole entire locker full of it, and I would love to have that locker to store some of this kind of stuff instead. It's stuff that goes along with Saxon and Envision's math, but it's like CD-ROMs and stuff that I don't know why I would use. I don't know. I haven't looked at them. But I do know that I'm not allowed to get rid of it. So, and I have all of that stuff right there. I have all of these cards. I'm not sure what these came with. Maybe journeys. Let me know if you know, but I have this whole thing, which these could come in handy. I just didn't get to it last year. It looks like somebody categorized them somehow, but what I could do is I could go through, well, they have stuff on the back, but I could maybe find them and categorize them according to the Dolch word list or something like that, and I'm sure I could use them in centers or something. These are the Saxon alphabet posters, which, I mean, I'm not going to use. I probably do need to put, well, I did fine this year without having pictures with my alphabet, but it is a good idea. But I just probably won't use these, so these are something that could be stored. I probably could put them in one of those nice Michael's plastic things too, so they don't get destroyed. But yeah, stuff like this is what I need to tackle this summer. I need to better utilize this space. That worked great for, like, you know, morning tubs, Play-Doh, stuff like that. I really like that. But this one always bugged me. Never really had to open it much except for some counters and mini erasers. This is pretty good. We didn't really do many games this year, but I know that this coming year everything's going to be so much smoother. I know that I'm going to make some more time for these games. Let's see, what else do I need to do? Kind of wanting to get a lot done, but not really sure. Ooh, I think I'm going to bring some of these home. This is how I've decided to start storing my masters, like stuff I buy on Teachers Pay Teachers. So I have, I think, math here, and eventually I'll put some tabs in there. I have them at home. Ooh, these are really pretty. I got them at Walmart, but I don't have anything in them yet, but I really, really like those. It'd be cool if I could have just all of this kind. So if Walmart has these again, I might end up buying some more. But yeah, I need to get rid of everything that's in here, because this has like sight word list that I was using to document each student's sight words, how many they knew. So I can just empty this out real quick. Oh, a whiteboard. This reminds me. I used a hand-drawn timeline. So I used we get a $400 budget, like spending budget for our classroom, and I didn't even spend it till the end of the year because I just wasn't sure what I wanted. And I think that was unintentionally very smart. The whole year I thought, man, I'm so dumb, I didn't spend my money, like there's probably something I need. But waiting till the end really helped, because it helped me to buy some stuff that I know that I will use. And actually, that's something I could do. I have the box over there. I can show you what I ordered. But so these are the whiteboards that I had all year. So they are just, you know, they just don't look the prettiest, which that doesn't matter, but they're all different sizes, so they don't really look nice when they're stacked. And you know, some of them are these little ones that are scratched, and of course all the kids wanted the biggest, best ones, and nobody wanted these. And so it's a huge deal to a first grader. So I probably cannot throw them away, because I'm sure it was spent with past budget money, like long ago. These are also not double-sided, and they're very, very like huge, like kind of awkward for the kids to hold. So I got replacements that I'm so excited about. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got. So I think I'm actually going to have to put those in the lounge, because that's usually where teachers put stuff that they don't want anymore. And then other teachers can kind of dig through the lounge and see if they find anything that they need, which was so helpful to me last year. I think that some teachers are like, oh, the lounge is like everything in there's nasty, like a garage sale or something. I loved it. I found this there. My little yellow tub that I used all the time. I got that from the lounge, and it was really dirty and used, but I cleaned it up. So, this was so sad because I got the box after we started distance learning, so I didn't get to use any of it. But it's also kind of cool because then I'll get to start it fresh and new with next year. So, I got this learning resources answer boards, and I already opened one and tested it out just to make sure that these magnet counters really stick really well, and they do. And this is going to be so great, especially for the very beginning of the year, whenever we're, oh, here it is. I didn't realize I still had it literally open. Let me show you. These are going to be so great. We use 10 frames all the time, and it comes with so many of these, and you can use the red side or the yellow side, which is a great visual. These can be used like while all the kids are at the rug and we're doing a lesson, and they can hold up their answer. But it could also be used, they could be used in stations so that it can help them to do their work. You know, if they had like 10 plus 3, and they could do 10 red and 3 yellow, and it should be able to visually show them really quick how many that is. So look, they stick so well. I had to like really flick it to get that to come off. So unless the kids are just misbehaving, they should stay. So I like it because it's got a single 10 frame here and then a double 10 frame here. So I know I haven't used them yet, but just so far looking at them, I highly recommend these. And let's see how many they come with. It comes with 4 of these in a box. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that I would have 20. 6, sorry, I was like 20 wouldn't probably be enough. I got 6, so I'll have 24. And I thought if I have 20 kids again, then I could keep 4 of them back at my teacher table to use back there, so I don't have to run back and forth. Same thing with the whiteboards that I got. I didn't have enough whiteboards in here to keep some at my teacher table, so every time a group would rotate and get to me the first time, I'd be like, oh, I forgot about whiteboards, and I'd be like, could you go grab 5 whiteboards to a poor student all the time. So I should have fixed that issue earlier in the year, but yeah, it was fine. But man, I'm going to be spoiled this coming year. Something else that I got were these 100 count packs of 5mm laminating pouches. I've only used the 3 so far, which are great, so I'm hoping to use these on some things that I really want to last a long time. I don't know what exactly that would be, but I just know that this is going to be great for things that I spend a lot of time on, like if I create something on PowerPoint and I really want to protect it, I'm going to use these. So I thought it was awesome that my school would pay for this for me, and I got 2 packs, so I got 200, which is exciting. Oh, this is probably like, well, I was going to say my favorite thing that I got, but I really love everything I got. But these are going to be great. I saw these and was like, instantly knew that this was going on my list. So in first grade, we use hundreds charts all the time. It is so important for kids to understand, you know, that numbers get bigger as you go to the left on a number line, and that they make patterns, you know, like you can count, you can see that you can count by 5s, 10s, and 2s, and you can use a hundreds chart to teach kids number sense, you know, like each row has 10 rows of 10 makes 100, all that kind of stuff. So I just think these are going to be so helpful, because a lot of times we would just do fun worksheets that help them to, like, you know, those color, like those mystery pictures. Kids like those, but not, you know, you can't overwhelm them with those. They're not my favorite way to teach the hundreds chart. And, you know, we also do pages where they fill in the missing numbers of a hundreds chart. So these are puzzles, and they have this here. So you can either, when the kids get really good, they can put the pieces in. So the pieces come in a little bag like this, which is nice. And they're just like little Scrabble pieces with the numbers. So when a kid gets really, really good at it, they can just try to fill this in, you know, on their own. And of course it'll be laying down and they'll have to be careful to not bump it. That's the only thing, looking at it so far, that I can say is they have to be careful because they can be bumped. The only thing that would improve it would just have little raised things like that. But hey, these were not expensive. I don't remember how much they were. I will link all of this stuff down below. But what's cool is before they get better at it, you can put this here to help them to know where each piece goes. And then I saw in the reviews that somebody got smart and she printed her own with some missing numbers, or printed her own that just counted by 2s or 5s or 10s. So you can do this in so many ways, and it could just be like an activity for when they're done with their station. They can grab this because I'm sure it's going to be something that they find really fun. I do think one of the hardest parts is going to be keeping kids from mixing their numbers. You know, getting them mixed in and with somebody else's. But it could be one of those things where you say, like, you know, just spread out a little bit, or you can take these out and put them in a box. You know, I'm sure there's ways around that. But I got 5 or 6 of these. I'm not sure. I did have a group, a station group of 6 kids this year. So I think I got 6. But yes, I'm excited to try these out. Woo. And I also got some sit spots. Now, I really did not have a lot of issues with kids moving around and not sitting where they were supposed to, but I decided to get some sit spots. This was, it has 9 colors and it has 63, and I think this was like, I may be wrong. I'll link it below, but I really think this is only like $4 or something. So I haven't tried them yet. I hope that they're really good, but I won't probably need to use that many. But I thought that they would also make really good like markers for some games. Like if I just spread everything out, like all the furniture, and did like a musical walk or something, I could probably do some fun stuff with that. So that's exciting. Okay, so I got these pins. If you haven't heard of hot dots before, you should look them up. There's probably videos or something. But what they are is, I've seen cards, like flashcards, and then I've also seen books. But it's like a card, I have some somewhere, that would say, you know, like math flashcards, 3 plus 4. And there would be answers along the sides with dots under each answer. And they will think, 3 plus 4, I think it's 7. And so they would touch the pen to the dot under the 7 on the card. And if they're right, the pen lights up. So I thought that that was really cool. So I got these pens to go along with some workbooks, like Hot Dots language practice books that looked amazing. Like it would have a picture of something like a rope. And then under the picture, it would have the wrong spelling of rope and the right spelling with the dots. And so they can pick which one they think is the right answer, and it'll let them know if they're right or not. But it had all kinds of stuff like that. Sight word practice. It just looks like something the kids will love. But the only thing is, for some reason, the books did not arrive in my order. So I'm not sure. I emailed our... the lady I'm supposed to email the materials, I think she's the materials manager lady. I just know I emailed somebody in our office and she told me who to email at the admin office. So I haven't heard back from her yet. So I don't know if I just forgot to put the books on my list or what. But I can't wait to show you those because that was like, oh, perfect. I'm trying to find things to make station preparation easier. And to like, I like to have work that they can like record their answers so that they have something to turn in to prove that they did work. But every now and then I want them to be able to just do something like this, you know, and that will save me from having to make so many copies. But even if they do like a paper really quickly, when they're done, then they can do something like this. So it gives them something to keep them busy, but it's also like very fun and engaging. Okay, so here's the whiteboards that I got. The dry erase boards. There are a couple things that I love about these. So one pack comes with 12. Okay, I'm confused. It says 12 count up here. It says 12 count up here, but then down here it says 15 premium double-sided lap-size whiteboards. Am I just confused? I don't know, but there's 15 erasers because I just counted them. So, what I love about these is that they are solid on the front. They're a nice size for the first graders. Nobody needs a whiteboard as huge as those other ones were. And then the back, oh, perfect. I love this. This is going to be so perfect because I really was bothered every time that they were practicing their spelling words on the other whiteboards, because I mean, I would just see them writing like crazy. And you know, in first grade, we are working so hard on a handwriting. And I tell them every time you write, practice looking for those lines, making your short letters go to the dotted line. And so these are going to be fantastic. I'm so excited. And they also come with little skinny markers, which the markers that I bought the colored markers this year. They did not last. I was watching the kids. They didn't use them like crazy. Like, they didn't scribble. They didn't, I mean, every now and then you have one that does, but the markers like dried out so fast. And I know the kids put the lids on them. So is that normal, or was I just having issues? So I got 2 boxes. So I have 30 whiteboards. So if I have 20 kids again, then I'll have 10 extra, which will be great because I could send one with any pull-out kids who are, you know, going with my aide to work on stuff. And then I can also have 6 at my table, and then I'll have a couple more just in case one breaks or gets ruined somehow. So I love that. I'm so thankful for my school district for giving us a budget that we can use for our classroom. These things are great, and I also am so glad that I ended up just putting it off till the end of the year, because I'm afraid if I would have bought stuff at the beginning of the year, I would have bought stuff that really were not necessary, just because of me not having experience and knowing what I would like to use and what would be beneficial. So, oh, last but not least, my kids love flashcards, so I got time and money flashcards, and I got 2 packs of them. So this is something else that I like to put at a station for when they're done with their written work. I just give them some flashcards. I did it with addition and subtraction. They loved it. I was thinking that it wouldn't be, you know, that exciting, but they really love using flashcards. I think it makes them feel like a teacher because they see me use flashcards. So easy station activity. All right, so as late as it is, there actually was another teacher here, another night owl like me. So I was just talking to her for a little bit. My husband has texted checking on me and called, so I better get home. I feel like I didn't do much, but I have a lot of extra time this summer to get the room how I want it to be. But thank you so much for watching. If you want to, you can check out my Instagram. It's Miller's Happy Class. I would love to have you follow me over there. I appreciate you checking out my channel so much. Subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you next time.